Making a Lego movie, how long has this been a lifelong dream for you guys, or did it come later in life?
This has been a 3-year-long dream of mine.
And how did the idea, like, we just playing with Lego one day, or what?
Well, we did play with
The
Lego.
cynical answer is like when a producer pitched it to us.
Back to the truck of money.
We all played with Lego growing up, and we're big fans of Lego. And then a few years ago, producer Dan Lin and Roy Lee had the rights to Lego, and they said, "What about a Lego movie?" And at first we thought, "Oh, that sounds like a commercial. No, thank you." And then we thought about it some more and thought, "Oh, maybe there's a way to do it that's really cool and not a commercial." And we pitched it to them just very offhandedly, and they're like, "That would be great." And then people were into it, and it was crazy, and we just got to make it.
And now you have Batman and Superman and all kinds of people.
Yeah, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, they're all hanging out.
Yeah. And so your lead character is Chris Pratt, right? And what's the sort of the basic? What's the kind of elevator pitch for the story?
Well, go ahead, Phil. You're the narrator of this.
I gave the worst answer, and now they're punishing me by making me say it a million times over. Chris Pratt plays an ordinary guy who comes across a piece of extraordinary power, and so he is mistaken for the savior of the universe as a result. So he teams up with a bunch of really talented people, and they go to the end of the universe to try to stop the evil Lord Business, who's going to enslave everybody in the world. And along the way, he has to kind of pick up the skills that the other geniuses have. And in order to save the universe, he's going to have to tap into his creative side, basically.
And he's a construction worker, and he goes through these different lands and universes, and all of different Lego worlds collide.
Has to construct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys realize you basically made Justice League. You've kind of preempted.
I'm sure the Warner
Again-
people don't want us to say that.
I'm going to tell you, there is no Justice League in this movie.
Yeah. But we did get to pull a lot of different IP together into one movie, in a way that's really exciting and weird. And
But it's the way a kid would do it.
Right.
The way a kid who's
Yeah.
had an open toy box would play with his G.I. Joe and his Barbie and have them, make out.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
the way my own son does with a bunch of different minifigures from a bunch of different things, and has them all interacting with each other, and try to capture the spirit of that.
If your son had the voice of Will Arnett.
Which he does, weirdly, and he's only
does.
4.
Wow.
He's got to stop smoking.
Your son's voice is in the movie. I think it's
He
going to
is.
stay.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty good.
I'll make this my last one. What can people expect from the sequel to 21 Jump Street? I'm very, very excited.
Yes.
Well, we've already dropped the huge news that they move across the street to 22.
22?
Jump
To
Street.
22. That's what the 22
expect
Jump
that,
Street
did
comes
you?
from.
No, that's going to be controversial with fans.
Super controversial. They're going to college, and we're just trying to get as deep into the relationship between Channing and Jonah as possible.
Romance.
And Jonah basically behaves like a teenage girl for much of the film.